A Hollywood icon with countless memories, Robert Redford has lived a life that few could even dream of. As one of Hollywood's greatest leading men, he starred in classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Sting. Over decades, he worked with some of the most legendary actors and actresses in the industry. Yet, when asked to look back on his career and personal connections, Redford admitted there was one woman who stood out above the rest, someone he could never forget. That woman was Natalie Wood. The first meeting, a bond beyond the screen. Redford and Natalie Wood first crossed paths in the 1960s. At that time, Wood was already one of Hollywood's biggest stars, having appeared in films like Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story. Redford, still carving out his place, was instantly struck by her charm, beauty, and undeniable talent. Their professional relationship began with the 1965 film Inside Daisy Clover, where Redford played opposite Wood. The chemistry between them was electric, not just on screen, but in the way they seemed to understand each other off camera. Redford later revealed that working with Wood was unlike working with anyone else. She had a warmth and vulnerability that made every interaction unforgettable. Why Natalie Wood was different. Hollywood in the 1960s was filled with glamorous actresses, yet Natalie Wood had something more. She carried herself with grace, but also had a fragility that made her relatable. Redford admired her ability to balance stardom with humanity. She wasn't just another co-star, she became a close friend and confidant. Redford admitted that Natalie's struggles made her stand out in his heart. Beneath her dazzling smile, she battled insecurities and personal demons. Redford, who often avoided Hollywood's superficiality, found in her someone real, someone whose authenticity left a lasting mark on his life. They're on screen. Magic after Inside Daisy Clover. The two reunited for another collaboration in This Property is Condemned, 1966. Again, the chemistry was undeniable. Critics and fans praised their performances, and it became clear that Redford and Wood shared a connection that went deeper than just scripted lines. For Redford, these films weren't just career milestones, they were emotional landmarks tied forever to the memory of Natalie Wood. The tragic loss of Natalie Wood in 1981. Hollywood was shaken when Natalie Wood tragically died in a mysterious drowning accident off the coast of California. She was only 43 years old. For Redford, the news was devastating. He admitted years later that her death haunted him, and he never truly recovered from the loss of someone so special. He described Natalie as irreplaceable, a rare soul who could never be duplicated. Her passing left a void in Hollywood, but for Redford, it left an even deeper personal wound. Why he could never forget her. Even as Redford aged and built his own legacy as an actor, director, and activist, Natalie Wood remained a constant in his memories. He spoke about her with a mix of admiration and sorrow, acknowledging that she was the one woman who had left a permanent imprint on his heart. For Redford, Natalie wasn't just a co-star. She was a reminder of the beauty, fragility, and fleeting nature of life. While he worked with many talented women throughout his career, none held the same place in his soul as Natalie Wood. A memory that lives on. Robert Redford's admission reveals a softer, more vulnerable side of the Hollywood icon. Despite decades of fame, countless films, and global recognition, his most cherished memory was not of awards or box office numbers, it was of Natalie Wood. The woman he could never forget. Her legacy lives on in her films, and in the words of Redford, she will forever remain a shining light in Hollywood's history and in his heart.